Hi, you can't see me, but this is Kathleen Bailey from Bailey Academy. Today I have something really cool to show you, which is why you can't see me. This is a circuit tester game that I made myself and that I'll teach you how to make. It's super easy. So what it is you have questions or words on this side, and this one is a food nutrition one. So for example, it says avocados, oil, and margarine are examples of, and on this side there's different answers, and you have to match them up. In this case it would be fats. And you can see that there's a little bit of tinfoil underneath. I can't get it all up. I made this with the green painter's tape, but you can use masking tape. And what you have to do is you have to create the paper with questions and answers not matched together on your computer, print it out, and then you're going to glue it down to a file folder and then hole punch as close as you can on each side. Now when you hole punch this side, it's going to go through, which is why that tape is over that. I'm going to show you what it does in a second. Okay? And then we're going to do something, I'll explain in a minute exactly how you do this part. But when you have it done right, you're going to use something called a circuit tester to play the game. Now this is a homemade circuit tester that my father made, but you can buy them pretty cheap at Canadian Tire, well if you're Canadian, Amazon, probably any home hardware type, Home Depot, that sort of store. So what you do, it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but you match up one end with that. Let me see if I can prop it up for you. And then you put the other end on what you think is the answer. If it's not the right answer, nothing happens. But if it is the right answer, this might be a little tricky just because I'm trying to do it one-handed here, but come on. This is a homemade circuit tester, so it's a little bit tricky. But a store-bought one would probably work no problem. You match them up and it lights up. One second, let's see if I can get it to work. So as you can see, it lights up when you have the right answer. And if she puts it on the wrong answer, it no longer lights up. So that's the basics of how it works. So once you make one with whatever subject your children are learning, you can easily use a circuit tester over and over again to test out what you have. So the secret is in tinfoil. So after you punch the holes, you're going to use a pencil to draw inside the circle so that when you lift this up, you can see the circle underneath. So pretend the tinfoil is not there. There's a circle drawn under there. You're going to do that for both sides. And then when you open this up, you're going to take a strip of tinfoil that you've cut. It has to be thick enough. It doesn't have to be this thick, but it has to be thick enough to cover the circles. This one's a little thin. This one, actually this one's perfect. And you're going to tape it down from one circle to the other. The parts that are open are because those are the parts that are going to show through to the circles. So you tape it down on this end so it stays, tape it down the other end, and tape it all the way across. When you've done all of them and you've tested them to make sure they're not crisscrossed in any way, because if they crisscross, then they will light up for ones they're not supposed to. When you know it's all working, then you just glue this down. This is why I can't open it more for you, because it needs to be glued down better. So this one here I made for food nutrition. Foods are different examples of. I also made this one. We were learning about first aid, so I made this one. Oops, sorry, a little bit blurry. Come on. There we go. And the first one I made, where I found something that I'm going to tell you not to do, is I wanted to do money while we were learning about financial literacy, but this one had too many things, and it was really hard not to crisscross them. I did end up getting it to work, but I don't recommend doing more than 12 on each side. So once you make these, you can use them again and again and again. So especially if you have lots of kids, you make one for financial literacy, maybe your kindergartner's not ready for it, but when she is, or he is, they can use it. And if you know somebody who's tech savvy, they can make their own circuit tester. That's one that runs on a battery with a little some wires and a little light in there. But if you don't know somebody, they're pretty cheap, and you can buy them, and you can buy enough for each child because they're that cheap. Like I know Americans don't have Canadian Tire, but Canadian Tire was like $5. So I'm not talking about very expensive. Even if you get a more expensive one, it's still not that expensive. So what I'm going to do is go over again what you're going to do step by step, and then in the comments, and not the comments, sorry, the description, you will see links to some places where you can buy circuit testers. And you can use this for literally any subject. So the first thing you're going to do is pick a subject, go on a Word document or some sort of document, and come up with 8 to 12 questions or topics and answers that go with them. Mix them up. You may have, one that goes straight across, but you don't want them all to be like that. Alright, you're going to print it out, glue it onto the file folder that you buy. You're going to hole punch. This one's going to be going through both pieces, whereas this one's only going to hole punch through here on each one. If it's far away like this one, you can draw lines to help make sure it's obvious. Alright, just try to make sure that your words are close to the edges of the page. So once you glue it down, you're going to trace with a pencil each circle so that when you open it up, you can see where the circle is on the inside. And then you're going to cut strips of tinfoil and glue them on outside of each circle on both ends, and a long strip. And then the next one, if crisscrosses, you put another strip over top so that there's always only one path from A to B, basically, or A to A. Okay, test each one as you go. Test all of them as you go. As you add new ones, test all of them again and make sure they work. Fix them with tape whenever they're crisscrossing. And when you have it perfect, you're going to glue this whole thing down so that you have one circuit tester. You might want to put tape over the back where the hole punched through. And there you go. These are small. You can stack them together, put them in a file, another file, or a bin, or anything that you want them to, and use them over and over and over again. Just buy yourself a circuit tester. Isn't that easy? I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you will implement it into your school. If you're really tech savvy, maybe you can even make these with the kids. I don't know how to do that, but maybe somebody out there does. So that's it for today's video. Like I said, check the description for places that you can buy circuit testers, and be creative with your thoughts. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Got lots more activities coming in the coming months. Okay, bye!